I'm like, let's move on to something else. That's where I get. You got about 3 or 4 days to to really get me in. And if you don't lure me in, then I'm gonna move off the game. Which I thought about picking up. What is it? Oh, they got a new map. New England Mountain Reserve. Ooh, I might have to pick the Ever Hunter Call of the Wild. So what we got? Foxes, bobcats, whitetail, black bear, moose. New England. Okay. Why you say that? Well, I think you're gonna have to. A lot of these vegans are gonna have to get real. If it gets too bad, you're gonna have to get real comfortable killing some shit, and I don't think they're gonna like it. You gonna have to, I think people are gonna start having to get real close to their food. You gonna have to get, because the price of eggs, you gonna have to be able to get you a chicken now. I think if these eggs keep going up, I'm gonna be buying me some chickens. I'm gonna buy me some damn chickens. For get me some eggs. Some chicken. Oh yeah. They say, you see how much I sell them for? You know how much eggs people would buy some eggs, especially farm raised eggs. You can label them as what's it called? Like, you see them people buy shit from Whole Foods. I know, but they pay more. They pay more for shit. They'll pay more for a brown egg that come out of a chicken's ass than a white one. Like it's those like it's the kind of the hippy dippy kind of people. They like their stuff to be like grass fed, and I'm like, you're, and I'm like, I don't think there is either, but like they're like, it has to be grass fed and perfect, and I'm like, nah, you're. I think part of one thing that I think a lot of people don't like is they don't like to know where their food comes from. I know you are. I know you know where your food comes from, but oh man, um, I know you know where your food comes from, but a lot of people don't want to know where their food comes from. Well, I know what you're saying. They don't. What I'm saying is like they don't want. They like to believe that like
species,
you
number,
know
mood. You can learn a lot about them before
that
you've
like
ever spotted
if
anything.
in a perfect world, you know, your food would come from fucking die by something. In a perfect world, your food wouldn't like you wouldn't have to kill something to eat. But I see a big problem with like a lot of the part of it is like I know some people don't like that. I see some of the problems with the whole like fake burger stuff. No, your body doesn't see it. Your body doesn't see it as food. No, like this is like a, it is like a science. This is like a science thing. Like your body doesn't sense it as food as like it would normal food. It makes sure it's harder to digest. It's like eating cardboard basically. Like you could telling you. Nah, I don't think. I don't think I can ever convert to that. I like meat too much. I like my bacon. I like my hamburgers. Also, I'm not afraid to eat some strange meats also when it comes to like a plethora of meats. I know some people are like, you can't eat a squirrel. I'll eat a squirrel with some mayonnaise. I'll be perfectly fine with it. I know Paige, she won't touch it. Especially if she sees like I could probably trick her into eating something. Like I could probably trick her into eating some deer meat. But sometimes she's like, I'm good. I like deer meat now. I think the only problem with it is it's very lean. You gotta mix it with some pork. Well, just the fat anyway. I'm glad they sell pig fat at the store though. Is that buffalo gonna die or what? Bro, I pelted that thing twice with a 4570. It should go down. Oh, yeah. If you don't agree with them, then you cancel. I don't like the idea of that. Cancel culture, I don't like the idea of that. Where you going? No. Oh, that has to be a hard shot. It's true. Well, I mean, just look at it. Kanye West can say one thing and go from being a billionaire to a. Oh, I think if he just take his medicine and shut up, he'd be fine. I think some people do need to take their medicine. He doesn't have to. He has a right to be broke too. So I guess. I don't think he'll ever be as rich as he was. I think if he invested his money properly, I think he'll be all right. As long as the banks don't start fucking with him. It's a sad day when you do an interview with Alex Jones and he has to be the voice of reason to you. he was like, I think Hitler's nice, and he was like, oh no you don't. He's like, no you don't. And then the guy, he just kept on going. Alex was like, come on man, like you digging a hole here. He's like, I said some pretty fucked up shit, but you were. He said he was smart. He was smart enough to back up off of it though. And they didn't really get anything out of it. I mean, in comparison to what he actually makes, it's pennies in a bucket, you know. Sandy Hook was a fake shooting or whatever. I don't know. He's been right before about some stuff, but there's a lot of stuff he was wrong about, like the Bohemian Grove stuff and the Jeff. Like rich people have this club where they like pray to this owl god thing and statue, and it's crazy. You'd have to look into it. I know, but like he snuck in there and like videotaped it, and I know he snuck in there in a robe and like videotaped it and did a bunch of stuff. What? Oh, he videotaped it, and he was right on the Epstein stuff about him, you know, in his little island or whatever. That's one thing I think he really went in on that one, and also the frog thing. So they were testing chemicals in water, and it was making frogs turn gay. It was this big thing he had. Testing. The government tested it. It got released. Like they released that info. He was right. Yeah, that is true. I don't know. It was a big thing. I don't know. That in the it's a couple other, that and the Clintons, you know, killing people and shit like that. Epstein, like when they I don't think he hung himself. That'll never be. They got a lot of dirt on a lot of people. That guy does. That Epstein guy, he had a lot of dirt on a lot of people. That's I. I don't know. He's really stayed low these last. He's been doing some different podcasts, and a bunch of different ones he normally wouldn't do. Oh, that's like Antonio Brown. He's running for the music industry, but I don't think he's that good. Well, I think he's an idiot. I think that guy's a pure idiot. I think he's an imbecile, and I think he's about to, because that NFL money ain't the same as. If he was smart, he would have kept playing. Like he would have just not. He would have just, you know, said I was hurt, and stayed hurt, been done with it. Instead of fighting it. If he wouldn't have walked off the field, I think he would have been fine. I really do. I think. He would have made so much. And it was over a helmet, man. Come on. Don't argue over a helmet. I understand that's like the helmet you like and stuff. But I mean, at some point, you making millions of dollars. You know, you just gonna have to. You just gonna have to suck it up. Like when you're making money like that, sometimes you just gonna have to say, "Hey, millions of dollars or fight over a helmet." Fight over he lost hundreds of $1 million over a helmet dispute. That's another thing. I think that's what finished it. You don't mess with Tom Brady. You can piss off Bill Belichick, and usually that's pretty much everybody's last stop is Bill Belichick. But usually, if Bill Belichick cuts you, usually that's about it. But if Tom Brady, I don't know. Usually Belichick gets guys that are older and about out of it. Them and the Raiders are like. He don't keep him. He ain't paying. No, now he has to pay him. He don't have a choice, cause until his quarterback ain't that talented. I don't think it's completely his fault. I think the team around him is tough, and I think they haven't had an offense. They didn't have an offensive coordinator, and they let Matt Patricia call. Now they're Tom Brady, they mad at him now because he got mad at the media. He got mad at them and just said, they kept badgering him about, what he's gonna do next year, and he just told me, he goes, I'll effing tell you when I decide it. And he said I'm done talking. He said I'm done talking about it. He said No, I heard the clip. I do not know. It was some reporter. I don't know. I think he just needs to call. He needs to call it a day. Oh my God, Oakley, go back to sleep. No, I think he'll never win another Super Bowl. He would have to get on a really stacked team to do it. I don't think he can ever really. You'll never have, a janitor out there catching passes anymore. And that days are over with, but he'd have to go and find a pretty good team to latch on to. Whose starter that he's better than. I don't know. I think about half of them he could snatch a job from. Skip's really bad wanting him on the Cowboys. Bub, come on now. What's Trey Lance from the Niners? He's wanting to go to Tennessee. He sees the writing on the wall. What's about to happen to him? Oh yeah. Because if Brock Purdy takes you to a Super Bowl, I would have a real hard time saying that he won't be the starter come next year for the 49ers. Even if he gets you to the NFC Championship, I don't think you start him. I think maybe if you go to camp and, he outcompetes you in camp, but I don't know. It's a weird, which I think you Tennessee Titans, you're probably going to get I say Tannehill probably retire. Because I don't think it's either him retire or be a backup, and I think that's his options. He ain't got no other options after that. But if I was him, I would, and I'd milk that money for as long as you can get it. But I don't know, dude. Some guys' egos, like I said, will not allow them. And some dudes are full of themselves, Dad. You never know. Like they might, you know, might not move off of him, but I don't know. Vrabel's a odd guy. Vrabel's a strange man. He might keep him. I think they need to move off him too. I don't think Malik Willis is the guy. He's exactly what that draft class is right now. I don't think any of them were really starters except for Pickett. Well, they're dead. Atlanta's already talking about drafting another quarterback. Willis didn't look that hot, but I mean they might, you know, they might not get a quarterback. But I think if Derek Carr's there though, do you snag him up? Do the Titans snag him up? Because I think they do. I think he falls in the Kirk Cousins category to me. Well, he's too good to sit the bench, but not good enough to win you a Super Bowl. That's what he is. He's good enough to get you to about the first or second round of the playoffs if he gets lucky. That's about it. And that's why I see Kirk Cousins at. Like, you're never going to get a rookie that's good enough to replace him unless you get like a transcendent play, but they're never going to have a high enough pick to get that. Where they get enough. Like, they're going to win 11 games with Kirk Cousins and be a late first round pick, and then you're not going to get like a guy. You're not going to get a chance at CJ Stroud or like a Bryce Young or something like that. You're going to have to go on a guy who needs some work. It's going to have to sit a couple years. A year or two to learn. So you're never... I'm saying the chances of them being a stud is much higher the higher the rounds get. Like, they've drafted a guy or two to try to replace him. They just ain't found him. I think you'd have a hard time finding him because he's middle of the pack when it comes. Like, he's good enough to where he's like, you know, it's hard to replace. You know, he threw for 5,000 yards again, or for 3,500 yards again and 20 touchdowns. Which I don't know. I think you have a weird quarterback carousel happening this year. Because you got Derek Carr on the move. Tannehill's going to be on the move. Brady probably going to play again. And wherever he plays at, which I think they might fire Mike McCarthy after this one. After that game. They might actually fire Mike McCarthy. I hope they do. Well, I hope they don't actually. I don't like the Cowboys. I hope they keep him around for a long time because I enjoy it so much to see them lose. I don't know. I think just every single Cowboys fan is just I just don't like them. They're just smug. I don't know why. I've just never liked them. I've always hated the Cowboys because it's the same thing every year where they're just kind of like, they're like, oh, we're great, and then they're not, and then it's always a fun time to watch them just fail. I don't know why I don't like the Cowboys. I just never liked them. I like the Eagles more than I like the Cowboys. I only like the Eagles because of Michael Vick, and that's about it. No, I said I do like them. I did like them because of Michael Vick, and that was about it. Michael Vick was the man. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame myself. I think he does. And my only reason saying that is because I think he revolutionized the game. Like, there was very few guys like him. Like, there's not too many quarterbacks that were just like they were. Yeah, I know Randall Cunningham, but, like, he wasn't Michael Vick. He got with a weird. Wasn't he? No, wasn't he in the USFL first? Or am I wrong by that? Wasn't he like in a weird one of them? Well, before that though, wasn't he like in a side league where he was just kind of? And he was like Lamar Jackson before like Lamar Jackson. Uh-oh. Yep. There's another dead buffalo. I don't know. I think professional basketball is a different animal when it comes to shooting 3-point. He might have been good though. I think size is a weird thing from a 3-point line though, or from a free throw. Well, now you have to be able to shoot the threes. Three ball. It doesn't matter how good your team is. Oh yeah, we in an open field now. These buffaloes are about to... Durant? Oh, Ben Simmons. Well, you know, everybody cuts the path somehow. I don't understand how at this point, but that dude is... I figured they'd done got rid of him by now. He's a weird sort of guy. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of his. I like Embiid. I think the best thing they did was get rid of him. The Philly did. Come on, go down. Shot you on the how many times, just go down on the ground. One of them had to have died by now. It's not. There's some turkeys. I'm not saying he'll ever be like I think Big Ben's will be like a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I'm not saying he's like him, but maybe when he's like 70, they'll look back and be like, hey, Michael Vick in the Hall of Fame. I think if he never got that dog fighting stuff, I think we'd be saying Michael Vick's a Hall of Famer. He could have compiled the stats to get it. Yeah. The Michael Vick experience, the most electrifying player ever. Well, Ed Reed got fired. He was a head coach for a HBCU. He started getting pissed about where money was going, and there was like rooms just full of like junk, and he was having to go and hand pick up the campus and shit like that, and he was just like, this is dumb. He was pissed though, I know that much. Oh yeah, I don't buy the whole Antonio Brown CTE thing. I think he's just not a good guy. If you well know the fact about cigarettes and how they can harm you is what you're saying. Well, it's like Joe Burrow. He was talking about they asked him what he thought, like what his like the about the roughing the passer calls. He was like, it's part of the game. He said you're gonna get hit, and then it's a part of the game. He said people need to quit complaining. He said, what do you want them to do? Pick me up and lay me to sleep? He said, you want me to put a pillow underneath my head? He said, I know what I signed up for. He said, I know what the end result is. He said, I know when I'm 70, it's not going to be good. He said, it is what it is. I follow this TikTok. I'm probably going to buy their merch. It's called No Context Ric Flair. And it's just Ric Flair with just zero context. Just talking shit. they got like pictures of like Ric Flair in like different spots randomly. And the merch is hilarious. Well, that's gonna happen when the schedule that they got is pretty rough. I mean, if I think you get more CTE in UFC and boxing. Especially boxing. In a year, I think 5. Really, like that's push. If you're not a title, like if you're a title, usually it's like 1 or 2. Like if you have the title, but you're trying to fight as much as you can, so it's about 4 or 5. On average, it's about 4 usually, but the training is really like you're not like the training is what usually gets you. It's going into the gym every single day and getting flat out cracked as hard as you can. Well, you got the AEW now. That's a big one now. They're pretty close to. So wait, are they independent contractors with AEW? Is that? I think they are though. I think they're independent. Like they can work other promotions. I think. Well, yeah, you don't have to work other productions, but some of them I know do. I think they are independent contractors technically, but they can be released very easily. Also, there's the problem with that. It's a double-edged sword. It allows them to get out of a lot of contracts and stuff like that very easily if you're an independent contractor. Is what that allows it. Like it's a good deal because you know if you don't like it and you can always go to a different somewhere else and you know go with them as an independent contractor. But also if you ain't cutting it that good, they can easily just tell you that's it, buddy. Well, I see a franchise tag happening in Lamar's future. Well, he doesn't. One of them is a definite, like that he can't get out of it. One of them is. There's two. No, there's two different franchise tags. Well, I was listening to Rich Eisen like explain that one of them because there's two different franchises. One of them he doesn't have to sign it, but where he's just now like this is his first time to the table. The second one's worth more. It's like $50 million, which is pretty big. But he doesn't. He can sit out though, or sit in as they call it. No, I think they'll franchise him, but I think they'll force him to sign. I think he'll be forced to sign it though. I think he'll sit for sure. I wouldn't play. There's no way in hell I'd play. But I don't know. They really need to pay him now. Because Joe Burrow is either going to reset this market or take a discount. And chances are he's going to reset that market completely. They're going to give him $300 million. He's going to get the paycheck Lamar Jackson. And then that number Lamar Jackson's going to get, keep going north. Oh, if he'd have paid Dak Prescott to begin with, he'd paid him $40 million an hour, which is nothing now. Or was it like 15 a year or something like that? That's what a lot of them are getting. Well, it wasn't guaranteed either, though. It didn't have to be guaranteed. Now you have to guarantee them at least 80% of it, 90%. I think if Joe Burrow takes the discount, I think if they structure it right, I think he might do a Patrick Mahomes deal I think if he does take the discount, that's what he's going to end up with is a, 10-year crazy, like, $600 million deal, which would be, honestly wouldn't be that bad, but it would have, to me, he's going to get fully guaranteed. They're going to give him whatever he wants. I don't think he makes it even through the off season without. At this point, I don't think he makes it through the off season with that. Because if they don't sign him, somebody's going to pay him. Somebody's going to pay Joe Burrow. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC. For right now, I think he's number 2. I think he's 2. Allen. That guy, Trevor Lawrence is good. And I'm glad they got a good coach. I'm glad they got rid of Urban. And you know, they talked about him going back on TV too, is the crazy part. And because they were going to put him back on College Game Day, and part of the agreement was that Pat McAfee wouldn't be on College Game Day anymore, and that wasn't going to happen. Because Pat McAfee talked a lot of shit about Urban Meyer. I mean, a lot. On his podcast. I mean, just roasting Urban Meyer almost every single day about, you know, especially about the stuff within the bar or whatever. He was on his ass about that. Yeah, but part of the deal was that that College Game Day was going to have to get rid of Pat McAfee, and they was like, we're good, Urban. We're good. So I don't know what he's going to do next. He might get a college coaching job. But I think this stint in the NFL ruined him. Well, you couldn't talk to those are grown men. You can't be talking to them like that. He's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked over the punter thing. Or kicker, or whatever it was. Because Nick Saban tried that, and one of them chased him across the field and tried to beat the hell out of him. And that was that. He stopped doing that real quick. And now we're in the Aaron Rodgers zone now. Whether he's going to commit or not commit to the Green Bay Packers. I think they need to trade him. This is the second, or the fourth off season in a row where it's been like, might retire. I think they're going to trade him somewheres. I think he'll get sent to a team like the Jets. I don't know. The Jets are... That team they got sneaky is pretty sneaky. They're slowly putting things together up there, especially that defense. With Sauce Gardner and... They slowly putting it together. Heck yeah, I'm not going to have to work Thursday. I'm happy about that. Because now that they changed the time of my class, it's a little rough. It went from being from like 2:15 to 5:30 to 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock to 3:15. Which just falls at a weird time.
I got 3 hammers.
You got 3 what?
3 hammers.
What, are you playing Fortnite?
Yeah.
You're bouncing around with 3 hammers. I've tried that before. Wait, so it's... Wait, okay, that explains why I was having so much trouble with that. So what counts as a ranged weapon? Even the pistols, though? Because I tried just putting an SMG and a pistol in there. So you have to use the hammer to get kills. Alright. that explains why I was having so much trouble with it. Which I ain't even done those quests on my account yet. I've seen a lot of people trying to use the shotguns at long range and trying to poke. I seen a lot of that, and I guess it didn't work. That one quest, you just gotta lose a bunch of matches. And then there's the throwable quest. You gotta throw a bunch of quests. Oh, you know the one where it's like a throw something within 5 seconds of damaging somebody? You know what I used to throw? You could throw anything. It doesn't have to be a throwable. I threw a shield pod at him. And then shot him in the face with the heavy shotgun.
Yeah, the only two things I got.
That's it's so much. It's so much. There's so many of them. I just wish you wouldn't have to throw as many. It's just so much to throw. So anytime I walk past a grenade or a group of fireflies, I end up just throwing them. Alright. Oh, dang, that buffalo fell. I didn't think I even hit vitals on him. Oh, what they call school off? How much snow you guys supposed to get? I don't know, you might get a lot, you might, at least they plow your guys' roads. It's a worthy trade. I ain't gonna deal with anybody. Like, I can go outside, pee off my porch, I can walk out my gun and just start shooting in there, and there's nobody in sight. Nobody calls the cops on you. Which down here, guns aren't that big pretentious of a thing. Some places in Ohio, it's a little bit. It's a bit of a pretentious thing for some people. I'm talking about like full, like open, like you just walking in Walmart, just wide open on your side. I think that's a. I know some people, you see a lot of it, like some people freaking out about it a lot. I think nowadays you probably should carry one. I think it's a very good idea. Why isn't it? They count suicides in that too. And over 50% of them are suicides. A wide variety of them. And you know what the sad part is? Most of those aren't by, and most of those ain't by people like me. I carry my gun. I don't flash it around. And when I get pulled over, I take the proper steps to make sure nothing happens. Either way, somebody gonna kill you with something. Somebody gonna kill you with something. In Britain, they have a really high stab rate. And that's because they got to get rid of guns, so they had to do something about it, so they stab you. So, I mean, either way, if they're going to get you regardless, violence is going to happen. There's no way really to stop it. But there is a way to protect yourself. But, and if they got a gun, it's over with. They got a gun. That's the ultimate equalizer. No matter what knives you got, no matter how big you are, no matter how strong you are, getting shot is getting shot. Same as it is on anybody. Also, it's a real good deterrent. Bigger guns. Yeah. It doesn't solve much to keep you getting killed, though. It'll keep you from getting killed. It will keep me from getting murdered. Dude's got a knife, they gonna die. That's that. Somebody breaks into my house, they ain't gonna get to my family. Nah, they ain't gonna get to my family. They gotta worry about. They run into my house. You gonna meet Jesus, and I'm gonna get away scot-free. As long as you running at me in a forward direction, it's over with. As long as you don't shoot nobody in the back or do nothing crazy, like that's how that works. The only thing you're required to do is to give them a chance to leave. That's it. That's the only thing you're required to. You gotta give them one chance to leave. The moment they step to you in a violent manner, it's over with. You kill them dead. I could if I had to. Yeah. Like if I had to, if it was my life or theirs, then yeah, like you gonna die. Sorry about you. Sorry about you, pal. Like, you know, you chose that choice. You put yourself in the ground. I didn't put you in the ground. You signed that certificate. Not if they did, no. I mean, they can, but whatever. Maybe that depends on where you're at also. Oh, around here that don't happen. Around here you get sued, you go to this court, this judge over here is going to tell you, well, you broke into his house, so tough shit. That's what they're going to tell you. Cuz it's happened here before. It's happened in Barville. Somebody shot somebody and that happened in public. That happened right outside of Walmart. Dude tried to rob a guy with a knife. Guy shot him. Guy won the case and then went back to sue him, and the judge was like, what do you want me to do? You were stupid enough to go after the guy with a knife. Like that's you. Like that's a you problem to me. That's his problem. It's not their fault that you decided to make dumb decisions. You make dumb decisions, you get dumb results. All I know is you can only follow the books that are given. I look at what the what the like what's on paper, like what's there, like what the rules are with that is, they come into your house, they come at you in a forward manner. One Kentucky's a constitutional gun state. Luckily, I ain't got nothing, so. uh, uh, and you know what though? I'll be alive. I'll be alive though. That's the kicker. I'll be alive. They won't. And that might happen, but like I said, if somebody breaks in your house, they ain't coming in there with good intention. I'd rather be alive than them. You can take all you want to. They still dead. They ain't gonna make you feel any better. They make something for that. Same way that crypto guy's gonna get out of paying all them people. You just gotta file what's it called? File anybody can file my friend Jamie did it. It only cost him about $1,500. I can find it if I gotta file for bankruptcy, yeah. Cuts all that out. As long as you do it right, you can get a good lawyer. I mean, it's better than them coming in your house and getting you. And that's you, but, I'm always prepared for that. I'm always prepared for somebody to rob me. Or attempt to rob me anyway, because they ain't gonna rob me, because Smith & Wesson says so. I got something to say about that. Nah, you can get my shit. You can go on somewhere. They tried that shit at the gas station. They found out real quick. Hey, you got dealt with. I ain't have no issues out of it. Then we gonna find out. Then it's time to find out. Hey, is what it is. That's part of it, but nah, you can get my shit.
Again, you're young. You think you're invincible. You're untouchable. I get it. But you're gonna find out. I'm just telling you, son. Trust me. Life is very odd. The weirdest shit happens odd times. You think a situation can't possibly happen to you, it can happen.
I think you always gotta protect yourself, though. I think you do.
You can protect yourself by talking your way out.
A lot of people, you can go talk your way out of stuff nowadays, Dad. Nowadays, you got so much drugs around you and crackheads and shit like that. They don't want to talk to it.